Oh, hello.
Hello.
Start now.
Hi.
So we have got a space on the side of the chat where we'll write down a comment or a question about the game we just played. And if you want, you can write there where you're from and one unexpected fact about yourself. Very nice. Okay, so I'll give you exactly 1 minute to play with the chat, and then we start with the first activity.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, welcome. Hi, Kathy.
Hi. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Esther. Hi, lots of people.
I can't see you, Kathy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Eat broccoli for dinner.
I don't know why I can't see enough people. The screen is full of people. Let me see.
Are you on gallery view?
Yeah, I've got 9. Can I get any more than 9 people on there?
No. Top,
on
where
a
there's a
laptop
little grid.
Oh, well. You'll probably pop up.
I am
Hello,
here.
Lynn.
Okay.
Hi.
Now that was a minute. I'm gonna move on. The first game we are gonna play, the first little activity, is a very simple sensory activity. So I'm gonna suggest you just notice your environment. Notice where you're sitting, how you're sitting, if you're comfortable, and if you have got space in front of you for your arms. Because I'm gonna ask you to send your direction, find yourself in a nice comfortable space, bring your arms in front of you with the fingers around 50 centimeters away from each other, each end to the other. And then you're gonna close your eyes and very slowly bring your hands close to each other till your fingers touch. And you're kind of aiming that, you know, the first finger touches the first finger, the second finger, and so on. Breathe, soften your back, let your knees soften and be nice and easy, really gently, really slowly. Free your neck, head balancing on top of the spine. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then when you feel the touch, you can open your eyes and see, that didn't go too bad. Okay, so that was a good try. So let's do it again. Find your balance, and this time you're gonna do it with your eyes closed. And don't peek. So again, find balance on your feet, nice easy knees and lower back. Bring your arms out on the side. Close your eyes, soften your knees and let your back go back. And then bring your hands again to meet. Keep your eyes closed. And very slowly, very gently, soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. Take your time, give the breathing time. Notice if you rush at some point, or if you can keep a smooth movement happening. Lovely, and let that go. Okay? This is quite a very simple one. And you can just leave a comment in the chat if you want. I don't really have the time to go around and let people talk about it. So if you want to say something, say it in the chat, or if you want to say how would you use it in a class, you can write it. I'll give you 1 minute and then go to the next one. Okay, for the next one, you'll have to stand up And does anyone know what a little monkey is or a monkey is? If you don't know, just put your hands up. A monkey? Perfect. You don't know what a monkey is? Okay. So imagine you've got a little bit of glue on your hands and glue your hands to the side of your legs, wherever they land when you let them go down. They are glued there. And then from there, we're gonna let the knees and the hips bend and go a little bit of a monkey and stay there for a few seconds. And now let go of your hands. Okay, and let's do it again. Little bit of glue, glue your hands to the side of your legs. And then we go in a monkey and stay there and stay there and stay there. You can soften your lower back, you can go a little bit more forward, just stay there a second. And this time give a little bit of attention to your shoulders and notice what happens when you let your hands go. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it one last time. So again, little bit of glue. And we go in a monkey again. And breathe. And let go. Oof. Nice. Okay. Okay, I can say how to use it in a class, or someone else can say how they would use it in a class. Would anyone want to say how they would use this in a class for what? Just put the hands up and start talking. Okay, so yeah, go for it, Kathy.
I was thinking about my pupil with Parkinson's, who's very stiff, and just somehow the contrast between, you're not asking someone to stiffen, but they're using kind of tone to keep their hands on their legs, and then just the contrast between that and sort of letting go might be a good exploration for her.
Yeah.
And also I was thinking for my own cello playing, pausing sometimes and just doing that. Yeah.
Each of these activities can be used for lots of things. The little one with the fingers going to meet each other, I use it to show lots of different things. It can be useful for people who have got a very busy mind, very quick thinking, because it forces them to slow down and notice if they've got jumps or if they struggle to move slowly and keep breathing. Some people have got a very asymmetric body, and so they really miss the mark quite a lot. And it's a nice way to start noticing how you feel like you're doing the same thing, but you're not. So it can go from body mapping to really mind work. And that's basically applicable to any of those activities. The little glue your hands is quite nice, because when you are in a monkey with your hands glued, you don't feel like you're doing a huge amount of work. I mean, you are there and you're quite, you are there, you don't notice it. But then the moment you let you go, you really notice how much work your shoulders were doing. Now, none of the people I can see in the picture is doing it, but some people have got their shoulders constantly doing something. So going down to zero is an experience that they don't get very often. So that's how you could use the last one. But it's also quite nice for people who play the violin, people who play tennis, to map where the shoulder blade is and how what you do with your hands decides where your shoulders are. Yeah? Okay.
Can I just say, I think that was really, really helpful for me, because I think it takes away the tension from under the arms here. When you let the arms go, you suddenly notice how much tension, well, myself, I hold here. So, but with the hands game, would you open a class with that kind of idea? Is that the kind of thing that you would open a class with, or would you just use it in context?
I use it with other things. I find that lots of people don't have a very clear map of their shoulder blades, or it really depends who I'm teaching. I use it in one-on-one situation. And sometimes it's a way to let people calm down a moment when they get a little bit in their head, because it's a slow, simple movement. What was your question? Sorry. I got one of those mind jumps all over the place.
No worries. I was just, if you were giving an online class, is it the type of thing that you would probably start with? And I think you have just answered my question, so that's fine.
Okay, good. I think any of those things can be used for something. And so you can start the class with one of those if you contextualize it and explain it in a way that makes sense to the people in the class. So I don't know, if I had 50 violin players, I may start with all things about the fingers, just because they're interested and awake from the beginning. So I'm sure I don't lose any of them starting with something they're not interested in, hopefully.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna stay with the shoulders then. And this is one I love, and I'm always amazed at how much people get out of it. So again, standing up, find your fingers and find your feet. They're standing up, they're nice and easy, soft ankles, soft knees. And see, I'm learning this as you are. And now notice your fingertips, right the fingertips. And imagine they can lead the movement, that they can take your arms up to the ceiling. So soften your lower back and let your hands start following your fingertips up to the ceiling. So it's a very gentle movement in which your fingers go out from your hands go out from your elbows, and it goes up to the ceiling very slowly and very gently. So you are allowing your hands to go up slowly and gently. And this is really part of it. It's important how you get up there, because it's not how normally people do it, and therefore they come out of their habits. So you get them up there, and sometimes I spend after the class just teaching people to get here without, you know, all sorts of interesting things happening. So once you're there and you're nice and easy on your feet and your lower back is nice and back, you use 4 joints. So we are going to undo them one at a time. And the first one is the wrist. So let your wrist go. And breathe. And now let just your elbows go. Nice. So just the elbow joint. Now there is a joint at the armpit, and we're going to let that one go. Let your armpit joint go. And there should be one more, your collarbone. And you let go that one. Now, how many people had 4? Put a hand up saying 4. Did you have 4 or did you have 3? Yes. So if you had 3, you mop your body with this movement and this movement as the same one. So your brain has connected 2 joints as one, has fused them. And that kind of limits your movement. If you play the violin, it usually comes from the idea that you have to keep your shoulders down when you play. Don't lift your shoulders. And you know, that's kind of very good, but also limits the ability to move this arm around. So if you are teaching, and I just learned it yesterday, you can ask a person, you know, if you're teaching online, you can ask a person to put a hand under their armpits. I usually do this to other people, so that's nice that they can do it to themselves. Okay. And again, just bring one arm up this time. And see how as your arm goes up, the armpit kind of comes up a bit, and your shoulder goes a little bit closer to your ear. Doesn't need to go there. It's just high. And then you can let go of the wrist. Keep your hand there. Don't let the armpit close. Let your elbow go. Let your armpit go. And then you'll have your shoulder blade there. You can really feel the 4th joint there, moving up and down. Did anyone not have 4 this time? If you had 3, just put a hand up. Went in there. Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it better?
I have 4, but the 4th thing has to be, for me, actually expanding back out, a sort of slight shift that way. Because if you try and, you've been going sort of buff, 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 but you don't really want to try, if you try and do that, then you're going to pull on your armpit, but actually that's a really nice, then it sort of frees, it's like you've gone like that, and then you're just opening, and it's a nice way to access a sort of breadth across there for me.
Yes. And it's, you know, it's a simple body mapping activity, and you can use it for lots of different things. I like, Greg, I can see your face. You look perplexed. Okay. Any other comment about this one? Lovely. Okay. Kathy, do you want to say something?
No, I was just exploring my wrist.
Okay, good. Play with it, honestly. It's just fun. I love when I've got big classes. Sometimes it takes ages to go just to the setting of bringing your hands up. And then there's, you know, you'll find ways with your hands to help. Is everyone here a teacher or training? Alexander technique, or, you know, yeah, okay.
Teachers, yeah.
More or less. Okay, now, another one that is very simple and very effective. Make a fist, make it quite tight. And then just notice that there is tension there in your fist, but there is also quite a lot of work in your elbow, and maybe in your shoulder blade, and also going all the way up to your jaw. See if you can keep the fist there, but just let your elbow go a little bit out, let your hand go a little bit lower, let your shoulders a bit out, forward and down. Release all of the tension, the extra ones. And it's still a good fist, isn't it? And let that go. So this is quite nice to do in a big group, because you can ask people to look around, and nearly no one does the same thing, but nearly everyone does a little bit of extra, something interesting. Sometimes you see people going up there, sometimes you see people really as they make a fist. And you can kind of go back to very basic observation to what do you need to do to have a fist? How much of this effort is needed and you want to put in, and how much you don't need. Any question or comment on this one?
I've always got a comment, but you can experiment with what's it like to make a wrist by contracting all the muscles of the hand, and what's it like to make a fist by wrapping all the muscles around the outside of the hand.
Yes.
It does have 2 different qualities.
Now, if the meeting ends, because it's been 40 minutes, apparently, no, it shouldn't be, but if it is, just log in. Oh no, you have got 10 minutes, we'll make it. Okay. Thank you, Kathy, sorry. I got distracted from a message coming up saying that we were running out of time. Okay, now. This is an imagination game, and I presume that we all believe that what you think and what you do have got a relationship, but sometimes I've got to convince people in a group. And this one is quite simple. So if you let your arms out to the side of your body and start imagining they've got big balloons, and the balloons are just getting, sorry, I made a mistake, just forget what I said. Just have your arms out on the side. Thank you. And just notice how comfortable you are, how much of an effort it is to have your arms up there, how you feel about it. It's been Easter recently, so, and let that go. Very nice. Now imagine you've got balloons under your armpits and under the space between your arms and your body. And let those balloons get bigger. And as they get bigger, they bring your arms up. You do nothing. It's just the balloons getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. They're inflating and bringing your arms up all the way. Breathe. Soften your back. Let your buttocks go. And when you're up there, just give yourself a second and have a look around. And let them go. Was there a difference between the first one and the second one?
Yes, yes. It just gave you much more time to breathe.
Yeah.
It released the breathing a lot more, the image of having something under the armpits.
Yes.
Sorry, do you want me to write this in the chat?
No, that's all right. We apparently prefer to talk.
Okay.
And we can do a bit of both. Some people prefer to talk, some people prefer to write. I'm learning as we go. So I find this quite effective in a big group. For someone who won't do much, but there will be someone who really sees a big difference in the way the arms goes up. And just remember that with a group of Alexander Technique people, it's subtle, but when you do one of those activities with someone who's a bit less tuned in their own body, they may go up like this when they lift their arms. So it's a big effort to be there. But then as they do the balloons, something doesn't trigger that reaction, so they come up here, and it's much easier for them. That happened a couple of days ago. That's why I've got it clear in my mind. Okay.
Good. It's really good.
Anyone else? Nice.
Yeah, I felt a lot more space all the way up my sides with the balloons idea. Yeah. My whole torso expanded and my arms were just floating there.
Okay, lovely. That's great. Yes.
Now, yeah, it feels like the movement comes up the side of your body rather than from the shoulders.
Yeah.
It's really nice, yeah.
Yeah. I find this incredibly useful when I work with yoga people, when I'm teaching a pose, because there is often in yoga a big focus on the pose at the end when you're there and how you hold it. And this brings the attention on how you get there, you know, how you walk step by step, all the movements to get there. And it makes a difference on the way the pose looks at the end and on how effective it is. So it's a good way to introduce that concept in a neutral way. Okay, let's do the last one. Now, this is a good one. Walk away enough from the screen that you can see both your hands in the picture. Yeah, nice. Okay. Now notice your right hand pointing down to the floor. Notice the fingers pointing down to the floor, and notice your fingertips. You may notice that they start to feel a little bit like sausages now. It's just the blood. We start noticing the blood pulling down as we keep the hand there. And then if you imagine that each finger is pointing down to the floor, and then you can start moving the hand, going forward, but still pointing miles away from your elbows and miles away from your shoulder. So the hand is coming slowly up in front of you to point to the wall in front of you, with each finger pointing really miles away from your body, going as far with your mind. You know, it's down there. I know there is a bakery in that direction, so I'm very motivated to point that way. Croissants. Nice. And then once you're in front of you, keep going. And we are going up to the ceiling, really pointing away, really. It's just one arm. The right one just going all the way, just one. And stay there a second. Soften your buttocks. Let your knees go a little bit. You're pointing miles away, up there, up there, up there, up there. Let your shoulders soften really far as you can go. Nice big breath and let it go. Now, if you look in the screen and you can see both your hands, that definitely worked for me. Your right one should be a little bit lower than your left, or your right arm should be a little bit longer than your left. I'm gonna watch the recording after and see it on each of you, but I can see myself and that definitely worked.
Yeah.
So, what happened? What do you think it happened? Why is one arm longer than the other?
Because we've lengthened the muscles.
Well, it promotes the length, doesn't it? It promotes the feeling of lengthening if you're thinking into the distance like that. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Really, very, very lovely. And it's good to be able to notice. I've got a mirror that I can see it in from here, and it's quite astounding, really, how much extra length it gives you, you know.
Yeah.
I learned this one from someone that said they had Walter Carrington doing it and liking it quite a lot. I don't know if that's true. It's really fourth-hand gossip. But I like it because it gives you the idea it's not a big effort, but you release the shoulder and that makes you a bit longer. Now, really, when we talk about lengthening and widening, sometimes I feel like I'm not explaining it very well, but this one is visual. You can see how a thought and a movement have changed the shape of your body. So that one arm is a little bit longer than the other. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I was incorporating Penelope's feathery idea.
Yes.
And sort of imagining a feather sort of caressing the objects that were at the end of my sort of hand's field of vision, and it felt really lovely.
Yeah. Did anyone not have a difference?
Not one longer than the other.
Not one long. Who's that? Sorry. Greg. Yeah, I was gonna say, you may have the thing that you work with a teacher and their arms are so already soft and free that there is not much of a difference. They still enjoy it because it's quite nice and it's quite a what would you call it? An enjoyable experience, but you won't see much of a difference. The worse they use, the worse the tension, the more the difference, if that makes sense. So you see a lot of difference on me because I've got quite a bad tendency to do things with my shoulders. Greg, were you saying something else?
Well, one right arm was further away from my side than my left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
It's more energized in that way.
How much do you want to do the other one?
Yeah, definitely.
Should we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, standing up and balancing on your feet, noticing the fingertips of your hands pointing down to the floor.